Welcome. My name is Edna White, and we are actually starting our first one of 60 Now What? And my
So
co-presenter here is...
so excited she can't wait her own turn. I'm
I
sorry.
know. It's so
Oh,
exciting.
I'm so super pumped. Yeah, I'm Ann Peshka. And yeah, 60 now what? I mean, what a fantastic topic for a
Yeah.
podcast.
And we're the perfect people for it. So, the perfect people.
100%. 100%. You're up in New York, I'm down in Florida,
That's
and we
right.
cover everything in between.
That's right. And I think you
Yeah.
said something before as we were talking about it before. You called it the Great Migration.
Yeah. Always, yeah, I know. You like send them off my way. I catch them, and then at some point, I often return them.
True. That happens. That happens. So,
It is. It is.
yeah.
But what happens in the middle? And that's kind of like life,
Um,
right? Like we start out like these perfect versions of ourselves. We've got these great dreams, and then in the middle, we get sent somewhere that we often don't even know how we
even
what
got
even
there.
happened.
Yeah,
We
even
wake
got
up and we're
there.
60.
Yeah, we wait. I think. Well, so for me from New York, I think a lot of people become 60 and go.
That's true. That's true.
They become
That's true.
60 and they go. Very rarely do you find somebody in their 30s saying, "Oh, yeah, let's go to Florida," unless it's Miami Beach, of course. But
Right.
but yeah, let's go to Florida. No, very rarely do you hear that. So, but
Yeah.
it's when we get 60, when we New Yorkers say, I'm tired of working, I'm on retirement, and this is going to be great because I'm headed to the sunny state. We get that sunny state. I mean, yeah, and we get down there and it's probably gloom.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we're kicking back on the beach. We got a Mai Tai in one hand, and then we're sitting there going, what the hell happened?
You can only drink with so many Mai Tais, though, babe. You can only drink with
Yeah. Oh, I
so
know.
many,
I
only so
know.
many.
But,
But
but you're still the commonality for a lot of people
yeah,
is they're like, how did I get to retirement?
yeah,
What did
yeah,
I do with my
yeah,
life? And now what?
yeah. Now what? Like, who am I? Like, because when you're retiring, you're retiring from doing something.
Yeah.
Just like when there's empty nesters, you're retiring from your children being in your home, and now retirement from a job or retirement from volunteering. Now, who am I without that?
Yeah.
And that's where you get, and then you get I think it's fantasized. I think
Yeah.
going to anywhere, just saying anywhere after retirement is fantasized,
Yeah.
like it's a fantasy. People tell you about it. Oh, that sounds great, because my friend, she left, and when she retired at 62, she left, and she left 8 years ago. Wow, I didn't know she was that old. And wow. Anyway, I didn't even realize that. But she had such, they say it's the weather is great. Girl, I went out the first time I went out there, and the weather was horrible. It was like 80 degrees, blustering. And I was like, what do you guys do besides crawl under a rock? Like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't do much. And I'm like, it was horrendous. I don't like a lot of heat anyway. So it was like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, no. So,
Yeah.
you get I think it's romanticized. I think it's fantasized and all of that. And then when you get there, it's like, whoa, now what? You know?
So true. So, you know what? It's funny because I feel like we're in a race to always get to the next best thing,
Yeah,
right? When you're a
that's it.
kid, you're like, I can't
Yeah,
wait till I graduate.
yeah,
And then you're like, you
yeah,
have no idea what that means, but
yeah.
you can't wait till you graduate. I can't wait till I get married. And then you're like, you have no idea what that means,
Oh,
but you can't
God.
wait.
No, you
I
don't.
can't wait till I get a dream job.
Yeah.
Same thing, right? And then I can't wait until I retire. And this is what I hear a lot when I've got people that show up on the doorsteps of Florida so excited to not have to punch a time clock anymore,
Mhm.
um, that all of a sudden they realize what happened.
Yeah, who am I?
And now what do I do?
Right. Yeah. I've made
It's
the
hard.
jump. I've made the jump. I'm in, and it's literally like getting into an airplane with your parachute on, not knowing where you're jumping to and where you're landing. Then when you land there, it's like, okay, now what do I do next? Like, I made the leap, and it's a big leap. It's not like moving in from like a house to an apartment. It's not that. It's not that.
Yeah.
It's moving
Yeah.
from a whole nother area with a different culture, everything. And so
Yeah.
now things change because now you've been stripped. And that's the whole thing. I think we don't wait until to grieve, because that's a process. Like
Yeah.
retiring is a process, because you
Sure.
now have to shed my friend was a cop. She had to shed the fact that she was a whole cop. A whole
Oh,
cop.
yeah.
And she had to shed that fact. And she when she realized, she goes, I'm not a cop anymore. I was like, nah, you did this 20 something years, 29, something like that. You're not a cop
Yeah.
anymore. And now what do I do? I can't go around, waving my back like that kind
Yeah.
of thing. You can't do
That's
that
true.
anymore. Now, I
Yeah.
don't think we take the time in the retirement stage. I don't think we take the time to say this, I have to grieve the loss of this, because this has been a big chunk of my life. And we just jump into the next best thing. Jumping into bed. What did my our mom used to say? Jumping from the frying pan into the fire.
Yeah, into the fire. Yeah. 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 But you know what? I don't think that we really grieve any process of change. Like when we all of a sudden, I remember when I went from teenagerhood into like big peoplehood, I was like, what do you mean a refrigerator doesn't come with mayonnaise and ketchup and all that stuff? And how come there's no towels or bed sheets? And like, what do you mean there's no bed? Like, isn't that issued to you at birth? Like you don't, you take it for granted all of these different
Yeah,
stages and
yeah,
don't give yourself
yeah.
time to go, wow, I'm moving into a new
Yep.
stage. And how can I prepare? And even if there's no preparation time anymore because you're
Mhm.
there, how can I best take care of myself in this new period that I'm in?
Yeah. I don't think that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen because it's all expediency, Again, fantasize that I'm gonna just ah Florida. It's like that.
Great commercial.
It's like that really is New York. Florida.
Yeah.
And that's really what it is we don't take time. And yes, things may have to happen quickly, certain situations. However, do we sit down and do we really think about it? Because I said to my friend, I said, I know you want to go to Florida, but you sit down and weigh the things, like sit there and, and think about, okay, you're going there thinking you're going to have this great social life. I said, all of Florida is not Miami Beach.
Right. Right.
I
Right.
said,
Exactly.
it's not. So did you sit
Yeah.
down? How am I going to grow and nobody thinks about that, how
No.
am I going to, like, even when I moved from my house, I sold my house, I moved to this apartment. And I said, well, I didn't think about socially, because that's a part of you. Socialization is a part of you.
Yeah.
I don't care if it has to do with, I think introverts and extroverts is still part of us. That's why we have two hands,
Yeah.
two ears, two eyes, 2 feet. Okay?
Yeah.
Connection. And
Right.
so we don't sit down and weigh the fact that socialization is part of the plan.
Mm-hmm.
We don't,
Mm-hmm.
who are we going to socialize with? If we pick an area, is there socialization in that area?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't do that. Then we end up isolating ourselves. Now, like, what do we do now? Like, this is
So true.
heavy. This is
It, it,
heavy.
it
I'm sitting in this house with a pool and a jacuzzi possibly and an air conditioner. What am I doing? Where am I
mm-hmm.
going? How am I
Yeah.
getting this socialization I need? And all of that factors in. And I think we forget that piece. That piece is very important.
We do. We
Mhm.
do. And we forget that we have a responsibility to ourselves and to the situation.
Yep.
So I'll hear a lot of things from people that I don't have any friends. Nobody in my neighborhood is friendly.
Right.
Nobody says hi.
Right.
But you know what? When was the last time you stood up and walked up to your neighbor's door and knocked on it and said, "Hi,
Yeah.
my name is Anne, and I just wondered if you'd like to have a conversation someday."
We're all from New York. You got to remember that. They're all from New York. They don't talk. Okay, no, they don't. Not friendly. Everything's bad.
Parts. It's the same thing from other parts as well.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It
yeah,
really is.
yeah.
Like, so quick to complain about what's not working in their world.
Hmm.
But let's look at the common denominator.
Right. You. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But I think too, you just brought up a great point, is that we disconnect. We have had friends, and I hear this from my mom all the time. My mom is 85, and I hear, I don't have any friends. I was like, Mom, all your and it's the truth of the matter. And I'm saying it, and I don't want to sound cruel, but all your friends are deceased, okay?
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
not, unable to connect with you on, like, arm in arm, in person,
Right.
okay?
Right.
But all these other people are right here, connect,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they've gotten out of the habit of showing themselves friendly. They've gotten out of the habit of doing that because, well, all my friends are dead. But
Yeah.
friendship is something that happens over and over again. It's not just longevity. It's over and over again with whomever. You could be friendly and you could have friendships. You could have a partner. You can have a companion. Just somebody to go
Right.
somewhere with.
Right.
But we get out of the habit of, because of the age, we get out of the habit of being friendly to people. That's a
Yeah.
big mistake. A big mistake is
Yeah.
being friendly, being in our own world. And I know you think I'm thinking about the grumpy old man at the grocery store.
Oh, yeah.
I'll say, hurry up. And he's got two things, bread and eggs,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, but they're
Yeah.
in their own world. And in order to be social and want those things, you have to be out of your own world.
Yeah.
You can't live there. And that's what I think, a good majority of people. I saw somebody yesterday, and she smiled at me and I smiled at her, and she's an older lady. And she goes, "What are you doing here?" I was like, "I'm old just like you. I just might not look like it, but I'm old."
Oh.
And she goes, started laughing. And so she came back from the bathroom. She smiled at me again. She's like, "I still look good
Oh.
to be in here." I was like, "Hey, I'm here because I'm in pain." So it was, but you see, she was out of her comfort zone because she could have
Yep.
kept her head down and
Yep.
walked to the bathroom, did whatever she did, but she didn't. She made eye contact and she smiled. A smile transcends every bad behavior.
Does.
Trust me. I know it happened to me. So, it transcends. You show yourself friendly, they're
Yeah.
your friends. If everybody
Yeah.
does you, that'll be bad.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the best invitation. That's the best invitation. It's funny because I just heard I listened to a podcast this morning and they were talking about relationships.
Yeah,
And we know, right? We're in our 60s, so
yeah,
we got wisdom.
yeah,
We're not just smart, we
yeah,
got wisdom.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
relationships take work.
Yeah.
They take work on both sides. And they're doing studies on the millennials and Gen Z. And I mean, there's such a massive disconnect. They say that the average teenage young man from the age of 16 to 24, over 45% have never asked a girl out on a date.
Right,
That's tremendous,
right.
right? So that is actually quite sad that the disconnect is
Hmm.
so great.
Yes.
But we come from an era, we come from a generation that we know differently.
Yeah.
I don't want to say better. We know differently.
Mhm.
And we know whether we've had marriages because now we're in our 60s, right? So
Yeah.
some of us we've gotten really good practice and had several of them.
Mhm.
So whether we've had one or none, we still understand how relationships worked. And we often got to see our parents connecting with the neighbors, connecting with our extended family.
Right.
And it was very intentional. It
Mhm.
was driven by somebody inviting another. Like, I don't remember ever sitting around listening to people around me go, "Well, she just never calls, and well, they just never want to do anything." Like, I don't remember those
No.
conversations. And I think it likely was because somebody was extending the invitation. More
Absolutely.
often, it could have been, I don't want to go, but I don't ever remember such a disconnect
No,
as there is
we didn't
today.
have all these apparatuses that everybody, I call them apparatuses. We didn't
Sure,
have all those.
sure.
We didn't have
Yeah,
those. So going out for me, going outside and everybody like I lived in a town like when I came from Alabama, I lived in a town that it's affluent now. It's like this big hopping village. They like used to play around the streets. I was like, yeah, I know all these streets over here running around. And we used to get home before the lights went out every night. And, even my
yeah,
mother was home or not, the lights went out, we were in trouble, okay? And we tried to keep
yep,
the lights home, the street lights.
yep,
As they pop on, we had to get home, like
yep,
literally. Okay,
yep.
literally, we're running like the lights
True.
popping off, popping on. We
Yes.
go boom, 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 like literally. But it was more of that, and we talk about, you know, retirement is supposed to give us freedom, freedom, freedom. But do we really want freedom from? And what I think we have in our mind is freedom from that job because we really didn't like it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
when we say retirement is actually free to fly to your next destination, right?
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
it means to free you up to now, because you have to expand your wings because you've been in a cage for a long time. Some of us in retirement is like you're at a job for 20, 30, 40, sometimes even 50 years.
yeah,
And so you're cooped up like this. And so when that cage opens, it should be the freedom to do that. And I think again, I'm going to go back to, we just don't take the time. See,
yeah.
you only need 2 minutes to
Right.
just spread your wing. You only need 2 minutes. And I think that we don't put the time in. And what you said, we don't intentionally put the time in. We,
Yeah,
we don't.
yeah. Exactly. Or the effort, or the effort. And
Yep.
it's really interesting that we use the term freedom because all the rules are our rules.
Yeah.
So if we had already initially chosen a free way of living, we would not be seeking freedom.
There you
So
go.
it's
That's
really
it.
freedom from somebody else's
There you
rules,
go.
or we wouldn't be looking for an exit strategy,
Right.
right?
Right. Exactly. So that tells us that what we're talking about today, who am I? Or what was our topic?
Yeah,
Who,
that's really
who am I?
who am I
Who am I
now?
now? Right? Who am I?
Yeah.
Right? Who am I?
Yeah.
Like, so now you have to, now that's off of you. Retirement's off of you. Your children are off of you. Now who am I? It's a
Right.
time to discover yourself, to unearth all that stuff that you thought you were or you lived the experience of, you know? And a
Yeah.
lot of times, too, and I was talking about this the other day, a lot of times we take on different roles,
Yeah.
maybe because of our
Yeah,
own
we do.
mistakes, right? Or we get involved, we say yes to the decision we made, right? Or
Right.
somebody told us, oh, you need to be a nurse, and you hated it. You hated it. I know my first marriage, my mother was like making me get married. I was like, you kidding me? I was like, I think I
Mm.
can handle this. I had a kid out of wedlock. I think I can handle it. I'm all right. But adding that was the worst thing she could have ever
Yeah.
done for me. It wasn't great instruction, you know.
Mm.
I struggled. I struggled, and
Yeah.
I was like, but I was smart enough to say, no more. I can't do it. I can't do it, and I
Yeah.
can't put the kids through it. So no more. I can't. No, we'll do without that
Right.
part. I'm okay with if they want to label me as a single mom. I'm okay with that. I'm okay.
Right.
I'm all right.
Right.
I got other things to think about. So
Right.
we sometimes those things are upon us that it really, in order for us to be a diamond, and I think this is the time, the 60s, 70s, 80s are the times that we have been compressed and now that we need to be diamonds. And how do you do it? You get a diamond. It's under dirt. So that has to be all unearthed. We're the diamonds in the rough because guess what? At the end of the day, we tell this generation, if we don't have children of our own, we can give another generation our knowledge and leave a legacy.
Right.
That's what we do. That's what we have enough
Yeah.
experience
Exactly.
and wisdom because on top of all that pressure comes experience and wisdom.
Exactly.
It comes right. It does, right?
You're nailing it. It is wisdom
It's
too. There's a
wisdom.
vast difference between knowledge. So
Yeah.
when you're in your 30s and 40s, You don't have wisdom.
Mm-mm.
You've got knowledge, right? You've
That
got to
knowledge.
really kind of
That's it.
move closer
That's it.
into 60 and then you're like, wow. And I really hope people realize how much they have to bring to the table.
Mm-hmm. They do.
Retired in your
They
70s
do. Yeah.
or just beginning your retirement in your 60s or well into your 80s, you have a lot to bring to
Oh,
the table.
absolutely. Absolutely. And
Yeah.
I will tell you that I saw this commercial the other day. It might have been a commercial, might have been, I don't know what it was. I just looking. And so this guy, he's an older gentleman, he's over his 50s, and the Gen Zs were hiring them for this whatever company they were, and they hired him because he had wisdom and knowledge to keep the team together.
Yep.
Okay, to keep the team together. He had 30 years in, like, I guess something management, team management, something like that. And so he met this other woman. She was older, and she goes, "Oh, so you're the other older one here." He goes, "Yeah. Why did they hire us? Because we have what they don't have."
Yep. So true.
So I say that to say this is that we have it. We're not in the. We're thinking that we're alone because we're not. All if we put together, and I think if we go to Florida, if I go to Florida right now, we could put together maybe 20 people that said we're alone.
Yeah.
We could
Yeah. Oh, easy.
literally easily put 20 people
Right on my
together.
street. Yeah. Yeah.
You're saying the
True.
same thing that the other 20 people are saying, and you're not alone. You're not.
Right.
And if
Right.
those alone people get together, you're going to find some commonalities and you're going to find some camaraderie somewhere. Somewhere.
What an amazing
Yeah.
opportunity that is
Yeah.
everywhere. It just requires maybe there's a way for us to put together some kind of, prompts to really ponder and think about what
Yeah.
is it that gets in my way
Yeah.
from wanting to extend a hand to
Yeah.
another human being and share.
Yeah. That's a good question. And maybe audience, you should be starting to answer that, and that's a great question to start.
Yeah.
Because this conversation is about that. What am I doing, or what am I saying, on what pattern am I repeating that
Right.
stops
Right.
me from getting to where I really want to be? If I
Yeah.
something simple as that, starting like that, just I want to make a friend.
Yes. Oh my God, I love it.
One
I love
small
it.
step, just that one.
That's it.
Move. What is it that? And let's ask that question again, Ann, so that they can hear it nice and loud.
What is it about myself that holds me up from extending a hand to another?
That's good. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And let me tell you, with this wisdom that you have, it also unearths intuition and your what's the other word that everybody uses now? I forgot the other word. But I use intuition. It opens it turns it on. So the way you feel doesn't supersede that, and you can tell, oh, they have great energy, and you'll know who to go
Yeah.
to. You'll know who to go. You'll know who to
Oh,
smile at.
yes.
You'll know that.
Yes.
If that question opens up your own
Hmm.
understanding, your soul, it opens it up. It'll open it up, and you'll start taking physical and mental responsibility for yourself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Because that's one thing that we definitely are masters of is that inner
Yeah,
GPS called our intuition,
yeah,
our guidance
yeah,
system,
absolutely.
because it is spot on when we're in our
Yeah,
60s. It says, oh no, and a hell yeah.
yep,
And you just listen to
yep.
that. It's so easy. Yeah.
And then the third thing it says is I can say what I want to say and do what I want to do. That's what it says.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. This is going to be so much fun. I am so super excited to
Yes.
have these conversations. I really
Yeah,
am.
these
I
conversations are
really.
necessary, and
Hmm.
we as a team, on each of these conversations that we have on 60 Now What, and they're going to be different topics. And
Yeah.
so each time we're going to give you a question for you to answer, and we want you to come back and bring somebody else, like, share, subscribe, and we want you to bring
Yeah.
somebody else. But additional to this, we're going to have a worksheet for you to work through this and replay this again, maybe with somebody, maybe even with your partner, and say, okay, what can we do? This is one simple
Yeah.
question every week so that you can
Yeah.
start to rebuild your life.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great fun. Yeah. And welcoming all of the ideas and the comments as well. Please send them.
Yeah, absolutely. We're open for that because we want to hear what you got to say. Because yeah, you're going to hear everything we have to say, but we want to hear what you got to say, and we can always
Definitely.
leave your comments below, or you can just click the button under the video, complete the worksheet for yourself, and we'll be able to ask you questions.
Yeah, that's fun. That's fun. Cool. All right, my friend. I will see you in the next button.
All right. Bye for now, guys.
That is what 60 looks like when you stop waiting for permission.
Now, before you go, don't forget there's a question for the day. So I want you to sit with it. I want you to write it down and roll this back if you have to, so that you can get the answer for yourself.
Hit like, subscribe, leave us a review, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Every one of these things puts this show in front of more people who are ready to move. All the links, the question prompt, everything we talked about today, it's all in the description.
Listen,
we are not done.
We're just getting
started.